Hi, it's Jen Tracy, and I'm here to talk about Mavenclad for an MS. And if you're watching this channel, this is Life Beyond Fatigue with a playlist about Mavenclad for MS. And the reason why I started these videos is because I wasn't able to find the information I needed on this journey at first. And when I did find it, I was so grateful. And now I want to share more. And I want to thank all of my subscribers and those people that are commenting on my YouTube channel. And if you want to comment below, please do. Your voice is important on this journey with living with MS, and whether you choose to take the path of Mavenclad or not. I in no way am endorsing Mavenclad. I'm just talking about my own experience and also referencing experience of other people that have either taken it or are considering taking Mavenclad for MS as a preventative measure of progression. And also just to say, we're talking about, to my understanding, Mavenclad is specifically for relapse remitting MS, which is what I live with. And let's face it, the spectrum, the scale of relapse remitting in terms of side effects and daily life varies dramatically. We may have similarities as people that live with MS. We also have many differences. And I think I said my name is Jen Tracy, so if I didn't, there you go. And due to my MS brain and just my menopausal brain, I have a list to talk about. So today this video is the 10 days after the first round of Mavenclad, which is a 5-day treatment. And I may sound energized right now, but I have to say, getting ready to do this and motivating myself was a little difficult today. I've been pondering shooting this video for a couple of days now. And I thought day 10 would be a good day. So what I want to say about Mavenclad is my belief is that even after you finish taking that first round, it is still working through your system. My sweetie, how did she describe it as, what do you call that machine that goes on the ice, you know, that a Zamboni, that, you know, the Mavenclad is Zamboning through my system ongoing. So I made a list of different things that I wanted to talk about today. One of them is that what I noticed, a lot of people that take Mavenclad do notice dehydration, being internally thirsty. And I actually was surprised because I found since I was diagnosed with MS, I have been very thirsty just in general. And so not even with the Mavenclad, so I was quite anxious about that. And truthfully, I did quite well. It wasn't really until the last day or so that I started to feel I don't know if dehydrated would be the word, but very thirsty. And now that it's been 10 days since the last pill I took in round 1, year 1, I'm really thirsty. So I'm drinking a lot of water, and I have moved away from the plastic bottle. I'm using a Swell. I'm not attached to this brand name. It was a gift for me, a gift to me, and I'm grateful for it. And yeah, so trying to be conscientious about drinking water. That's one thing. What I noticed actually predominantly in the last week or so is that my eyes have been exceptionally dry, almost burning, particularly at night and in the morning. And I have been trying to consistently put eye drops on. I found that to be a great relief. They're not prescription, but they're not like the cheapo ones either that actually are really bad for you. So, you know, maybe talk to your pharmacist if you're not sure about what to do in that regard. I think it can make a big difference. One of the other things that came up that people have spoken about on the Facebook group Mavenclad for MS, and if you're not part of that group and you have Facebook, I highly recommend joining. It's a valuable place to share, ask questions, and witness what other people's experiences are, and that has been a goldmine for me in terms of knowledge and support. Is around bruises. Some people are getting major bruises or noticing major bruises as their immune system starts to drop. I had this bright light that's shining on me right now behind you, behind the camera, to create light in this space for this video. Actually fell. Thankfully, it didn't fall on my head a few days ago. It fell on my butt, and it hurt. And I was worried that I would have a big ass, literally, bruise on my butt. But fortunately, what I did was right away I started to use a cream called Arnica. Whoops, let me move that over here. Arnica cream. And actually, this is more of an ointment, but you can have cream, ointment, or a topical. And I have found that really works well on bruises. I've mentioned it before, but I haven't shown the tube of it for you to have a visual of the name. And let me just spell that for you. A-R-N-I-C-A. Arnica. So I've been putting that on because I have seen people have some pretty nasty bruises as a result of being on Mavenclad, and I'm not a person to... I'm lucky to have good balance, and in terms of walking, I'm fully able-bodied, but I do fatigue easily from things like standing. So I can be a little teetered at the odd time. But I do bang into things for some reason, so it's interesting. We'll see how that goes. Of course, I've only finished my first round, and as the immune system gets knocked down and rebuilds, you know, that will be a whole nother video, right? Cold. I had a bad cold before even completing my last tablet of the first 5 in round 1, year 1 with Mavenclad. And that cold, it's interesting because I had it really bad for a day, then it disappeared, and then it came back for a couple of days, and then it weaned off. So I'm very grateful it didn't linger around. That was something that I was concerned about that would stay with me, but fortunately it didn't. So my body's still obviously strong in some ways, which I'm so grateful for. Hot and cold. As a menopausal woman, I've talked about hot flashing. I do find that I am sweating more at night than I was before, so my hot flashes have been intensified, and I'm grateful that it's winter right now, which is why I decided to take the medication at this point in time, because in the summer it would be very difficult. I know some people are writing comments from places like Australia on my videos. They're writing comments, and you can do the same no matter where you're from. And also people are saying on the Facebook group for Mavenclad for MS, which is not a group I started, that's a separate Facebook group, that in Australia it's just unbearably hot in the summertime, which I can only imagine. Montreal's hot enough, which is where I live. And so that's why I chose to take the medication in the winter, because that way it's cooler. I mean, we've had incredibly cold weather here of -30 with big snowstorms and stuff like that, and it's perfect time for me to take Mavenclad because it's cold in my bedroom when I sleep at night, and I find that very handy. Cold, you know, it's funny because I have been having chills at times, so I think that's just my system calibrating after taking the medication, more so than normal. Nothing major, like a lot of these things are not major things that I'm describing. I'm just sharing this with you to give you a sense of my experience, and possibly looking forward to hearing what others have to say. On the fatigue front, because I chronically live with fatigue, and that is certainly a challenge for me. In fact, normally now at this point in the day I'll be taking a nap, but I really want to get this video done before my nap, because I know that after my nap, where I live in this house, the people above me in the next apartment or townhouse above will come home with their children and be running around everywhere, and the lady that lives on one side of the living room wall in her building, in her complex, likes to crank her TV. So this is the best time to shoot this video without having all those sound effects behind me. I do feel more affected by fatigue, no doubt about it. And I thought that maybe that would pass after a few days after the first 5 days of the medication, before I take that pause, before I go into what we call week 5 and take the medication again. That isn't the case. I actually have continued to feel fatigue, and I'm only 10 days out, so I'm not sure what that's going to look like as I carry on with this journey. I'm starting week 3 technically today, and if you don't know about that, you can watch the other videos and hear more about that explanation. So we'll see what happens week 3 and 4 before I start the medication at week 5. I think that does impact my motivation. I'm a very driven person, and I notice that I'm feeling a little more lethargic. So there are times where I can push myself and really go, and other times where I'm like not moving so fast. And honestly, like, I've never been a person to sit still. It's not my nature. It's hard to have me even. I love watching movies and those kind of things, but I've never been even a big TV person. I don't sit around much, but what I'm trying to do right now is give my body more time to rest outside of my naps and sleep. So I am allocating time every day to read a book, and even if I'm tired, finding a book that's manageable to read. And I am finding that enjoyable and relaxing. I also am finding, I've always had issues where when I stand for any length of time in the kitchen, particularly over the sink, washing dishes or prepping food, that my lower back starts to get some pain and I need to lay down. I have found that has sped up a little bit now. I'm feeling more discomfort more often while going on this journey with Mavenclad, and that it's in between my lower back and middle back, and I can feel that even now as I'm sitting. So it's uncomfortable. I am taking some ibuprofen for that, to not every day, but because it can be hard on the stomach, but to ease some of that discomfort, and that is making a difference, particularly if I'm feeling pain at night before bed. That can be beneficial. Let's see what else I want to share with you. Talked about thirst, spasms. It's interesting because I was having some calf spasms over the last couple of months, periodically in the night, and that was impacting my ability to sleep. I haven't noticed in the last 3 or 4 days any spasming in my calf, so that's actually disappeared. And I think I'm going to make this as a general statement. You could disagree with me on it. That's totally fine. As individuals that live with MS, I feel, from my own experience, that I have become incredibly conscious of my body, and not in a neurotic way, in a way of being aware of what my needs are, my discomforts, and things that change. And what I've noticed on the Facebook for MS website is Facebook group, that some people, when they take the medication and they say, well, I'm experiencing fatigue or this or that, but maybe it's just because I'm menopausal, or maybe it's because I've always been tired, or maybe it's the season. Well, those things are probably true, and at the same time, trust yourself. If things are different, it's likely due to the medication. Even if it's an emotional anxiety or impact, it's connected with the medication because you're taking it. I know quite a few people have expressed experiencing crankiness, sad, so that emotional crying, different things. I can say that I definitely feel like my window of tolerance around my emotion has shrunk a little bit, not piles. And truthfully, I do have things in my own personal life circumstance that are difficult right now. My dad has 5th stage brain cancer, melanoma, and his runway of life is going to be shorter than expected. And at the same time, I feel that how I felt about that before going on Mavenclad and how I feel now feels a little bit different. So I'm just making note of that in my own mental state, and giving myself credit for my awareness. And I encourage you and invite you to do the same, just to acknowledge and notice. If you want to record everything on paper or audio on your phone, or however you want to do that, do it. It's very interesting to share with others, and allow yourself to be right about what you're experiencing. It's your own experience. Nobody can argue with it. And, we're all here on this journey together, and, there's going to be variances in our experiences. So I think that's pretty much it. as I said, it's day 10 post my first round of treatment ever with Mavenclad, and I am grateful to have this opportunity to share this information with you. I'm excited and nervous about going on the second round, knowing that it's probable that I will have an increase in fatigue. So, you know, I hope that you'll continue on this journey with me, watch these videos. Please share them. I want to thank Lynn for sharing the video with the MS Society in her region. And if you have places where you can share these videos with others and get the word out, I would be eternally grateful. Comments below, links of sharing are below, all of that good stuff. Like the video if you feel like you want to like it, and continue to support me and others who are taking the time to share this information with you because we care, you know, that's the love. And I'm going to wrap up there, and we'll see you again. I'll probably do another video maybe at least a few days, maybe a week before I start my second round of Mavenclad. Have a great day, and sending hugs and kisses. Bye.